So, you like scary bedtime stories, do you? Okay then. Are you tucked up in your bed, warm and comfortable? Good. Then we will begin. On a stormy night, with thunder roaring overhead and lightning fracturing the sky, a very tired man found himself in a dire situation. His car, that he trusted for years, had spluttered to a stop on a desolate road and died, miles away from anywhere. And for some unknown reason, the battery on his mobile phone was now flat. He couldn't figure it out. The rain was hammering down like a cascade of needles. The only light came from the occasional flashing of lightning that illuminated the surrounded forest. He remembered passing a house a few miles back, and with no other option, he knew he'd have to set out on foot. With a sigh, he got out of the car, turned up his collar, wrapped his coat tightly round himself, pulled down his hat, and set off, mumbling and cursing under his breath as he went out into the night. The wind howled through the trees. He could barely see through the torrential downpour. Each step felt heavier than the last, his shoes sinking into the muddy ground, splashing through icy puddles. He found the house, and as he approached it, he had a sense of unease. It washed over him. It was an old Victorian mansion, its windows dark, its structure silhouetted against the occasional lightning strike, the full moon casting eerie shadows. There was an iron gate. It creaked ominously as he pushed it open. The swirling mist seemed to gather, reaching out like ghostly fingers, plucking his clothes and clutching at him. He climbed up the steps and reached out to the dull brass door knocker. He tentatively tapped on the heavy wooden door. There was no answer. He waited, and he tried again, only this time rapping just a little bit louder. Still there was no answer. He tried a third time, harder this time. The sound was resonating through the wood of the door. Again, no answer. With desperation creeping in, he tried the handle, and he found the door unlocked. He pushed. It swung open with a groan, echoing into the silence, revealing a dark, grand, neglected foyer, dust-covered and draped in cobwebs. "Hello," he called out, his voice barely above a whisper. No response came, only the sound of the storm outside. He stepped in, treaded on threadbare carpet and dull floorboards. He waited, looked around, hoping to find a phone or a sign of life. He called out again, "Hello?" There was still no reply. As he ventured further in, he passed through many dim, dark rooms, imagining he saw shadowy figures at the corners of his eyes. When he turned round, there was nothing there. Suddenly, a loud crash echoed through the house, followed by the flicker of lights. Tom jumped. He was startled, his heart racing. The lights steadied, revealing heavy furniture, stuffed animals, portraits on the walls. All eyes seemed to be following him. He stumbled into what appeared to be a library, where a reading lamp on a desk illuminated an old phone. He picked up the receiver to dial for help, but the line was dead. A chill ran down his spine. He wasn't alone. Whispers filled the room. Books started to rattle on their shelves, voluminous curtains flapping in a bitterly cold wind, floorboards creaking from an invisible footfall. A log fire sprang to life in the fireplace. He was frightened. He quickly turned to leave, but the door slammed shut on its own. And then the light went out. It was now pitch black, darker than a freshly dug grave. There was whispering, growing louder, forming words he couldn't understand, in languages he did not know. Colours swirled, the room spun, horrific images flashed before his eyes. He felt cold, but he felt a colder breath on his neck. A chill ran down his spine as he felt an icy, vice-like grip on his shoulder. He spun around to face nothing. The room was empty, and save for the stark, flickering shadows cast by the storm outside. He never did find help that night. When the locals passed by the next morning, the car was gone, and so was he. They say he became another lost soul, trapped in the mansion, forever seeking a way out. And on some stormy nights, if you listen closely, you can hear whispers on the wind, calling out for help that will never come. Sleep well, sweet dreams. If you enjoyed this story and would like to hear some more, I will be recording in the future. If you did like it, please press the like button, share it, please subscribe, and if you'd like to help sustain my channel and support me, please click on the link below for Buy Me a Coffee. Thank you, and do sleep well.